Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Richard and this is the monthly roundup. What's been happening in November 2023 in the world of used EV sales. It's been a crazy month. It really has been full on. That's why there's not been that many videos recently. It's just been all hands to the pumps and dealing with a chaotic November. So as usual, I'm going to round up a little bit about what's been happening, a couple of news stories. I'm going to run through some data about EV demand in the used car circles during November compared to previous years. It's good, demand is up. So I'll go through some actual statistics here. So ignore some of the tabloid headlines. The EV demand is strong. And I'm also going to round up a little bit of our solar as normal. So November, yeah, crazy month. So when we had our series of kind of behind the scenes here, you would have seen some of the last episodes of that. We were really low on stock. We had barely anything in the warehouse. We had a fairly busy October, sold out most stuff. And so it was all about going hunting for cars. Well, we did that. We went hunting and loads of cars came in. So we went from really quiet to really busy. Here's just a quick snapshot of a few clips from last month.
Sold. Mini level 3, that's sold.
That's now sold. I think this one here is sold. This red Model Y Performance is now sold. The EQE possibly sold. Model 3 Performance came in last week, actually now sold. Blue Model 3 Performance, that's sold. That's BMW i4 40E, not the M50, the 40 long range I think, that's come in. Grey, white interior, silver wheels, one of my favourite combinations. A Model Y, long range, blue, black interior, 20-inch alloys on this one. So between Friday lunchtime and Monday lunchtime, we had 10 cars arrive. So plenty to get on with, loads to process, clean up, fix up, advertise, photograph, video. And so there's been plenty going on here yesterday, which I didn't get a chance to film yesterday. 4 cars sold.
Yeah.
Which one's the fourth one?
We sold the EQE. We sold... What else did we sell? Just filming there as well, where they're playing the car game.
Which just came out of this room.
Team bonding.
Was it?
Busy kids.
Yep. First, actually gives his day off and he came in. It's now Thursday. I don't know if he got a chance to film anything yesterday. It was pretty busy. So Thursday morning, I'm just coming in, turns the lights on. And do you remember what our warehouse looked like a couple of weeks ago? Fairly empty. Now we're full. That's more like it. Now we've got some stock. So there's still some stuff to clean up, some stuff to advertise. Got some viewings today, and it's pouring with rain. So now we've got all these nice clean cars. Try and keep them inside, obviously, keep them clean and shiny. And we've got to play a bit of shuffle. Some cars are going to have to go out and get wet in the rain, but anyway, at least most of them are inside, clean and dry. So, all right, got to crack on with the day. So as you can see, super busy. We had a lot of cars coming in, partly driven by the Model 3 Highland release. So more about Model 3 Highland, the revised version of the Tesla Model 3. Some examples appear to be arriving in December for customers, and certainly then more in January, February. So because of that, a lot of the current Model 3s, as you can expect, have been coming onto the market. People have been selling them in anticipation of getting their new one. So rather than taking a part exchange price, we've been selling a lot of cars for people on our brokerage service. So we can get much better prices that way, and better than the part exchange prices. And now, rather than in the end of December, January, when there's going to be a lot more Model 3s on the market, and of course when there's more Model 3s on the market and more cars on the market, prices will drop. It's not just Model 3s that people are changing for the new Highland, there's other models as well, of course, but naturally a lot of Model 3s. So there's a flip side to that as well, where we're now coming into December, and for me to buy stock, I'm sort of restricting that a little bit because prices are likely to fall, certainly in the Model 3 circles, because there'll just be a lot more on the market as we get towards the end of December. And Christmas, New Year tends to be a bit of a quieter time in the run up to that period anyway, because people kind of wait for buying their car until the new year. So it's been a bit of a busy month. So let's run through as well, before I get started on the figures actually. Of course, we had the launch of the Cybertruck and the first deliveries to customers in the States there. Production has now started. It's still hard to get your head around, isn't it, that this thing that looks completely different than anything else is real. There's some good innovation there. We did a video discussing the Cybertruck as one of our last videos, so check that out on our channel, you know, about a few things about it and spec and such like, but will it ever come to the UK? I still don't think it really can, but maybe it will. You know, Tesla might just say, well, look, actually it's steer by wire, so right-hand drive is quite easy, but the size and weight of it on the UK roads is going to be a challenge. But it's possible Tesla will bring it to the European market. We'll wait and see on that one. But just quite a phenomenal thing that Tesla have done there. They've rewritten the rule books again. So like it or loathe it, it is quite a thing, isn't it? And it's now in production. So yeah, staggering. Right, so what are the actual statistics when it comes to the used EV market? There's still headlines saying the bubbles burst on EVs and all that kind of stuff. It's a load of rubbish. Let me run through some actual numbers. This is data provided by Autotrader. So not our data, Autotrader data. And I think it is quite reflective. And so this is what it's like. If we look at all electric vehicles, the demand for them on the used market in the month of November, compared to the November previous year, 2022, demand for EVs is up 90%. Have a look at that number towards the bottom right there. 90% up is demand for all EVs November 2023 compared to 2022. Market health also up 72%. There is still some more stock around. There's 10% more stock than there was last year. Remember, when you're looking at market health, it's kind of demand versus stock levels. The stock levels are really high and demand is low, and obviously market health goes south, but it's actually looking really good. So 90% increase in demand. That's good. That's good. That's what we like to see. That's why we've been busy as well. In the last 4 weeks, if I look at Tesla only, demand for Teslas as a whole, all models, 77% up. Market health is also up compared to November 2022, so 95% market health, and there's actually slightly less stock of Teslas now on the used market than there was this time last year, 9% less. So again, that's going to keep prices, it should be quite steady, although as I've said just now, really, we would expect as more come onto the market because of the new Model 3 Highland, there'll probably be some price fluctuations there. So if you're thinking about selling your car, now's the time to do it, albeit December's a bit more challenging for selling sometimes. Now, I want to look at briefly as well the entire year and what demand was like for EVs in the last year compared to the previous year. Now, demand, all electric vehicles up 47%. It was lower at the beginning of this year when we had various price drops because, again, demand had just fallen a little bit. But if we look at the year as a whole, 47% up. Market health is minus 30, it was down, but you can see on the chart at the top there, it's been recovering, and actually over the last 4 weeks has gone into positive market health. As an average, it's been down as a year though. Supply, plus 142%. So you can see on the chart on the bottom left there how there was a lot around at the beginning of the year, and that's when we saw those price drops. So it's reflective of that, and then the amount of cars in supply has come down, it's just gone up again more recently. So the key factor is, though, that demand for EVs is there. It's always a kind of battle versus the amount of stock, and there's more stock, prices tend to fall. Of course, stock levels grew when suddenly there weren't long waiting lists for new cars, and there's more cars coming off of lease companies now, so they're around. If you're an owner, you face some depreciation, but the whole used car market has faced depreciation. So you've got to look at it in that respect, but of course the EVs always get targeted for the tabloid headlines. So you've got to take things into perspective, and hopefully these actual figures do show that demand for EVs is good, it's strong, and we've been really busy, so we're good. If people don't want to get on the bandwagon for selling EVs, then okay, don't worry about it, we'll help out with that. Right then, so moving on to solar. Now, we were just flat out in November, so I have to say the weather was really bad as well. It was been terrible weather. There was so much rain in November, not much sunshine at all. And because we were busy, we were charging lots of cars and not really able to pay much attention to being as energy efficient as we can. We just having to plug and use electricity as we needed it. We tend to be a bit more proactive, monitoring our levels of cars and battery and solar production to even things out, but we had to just get on with it in November. So the numbers were a bit weak in November, which was only 21% off-grid usage. So I mean, it's still reasonable considering the weather's been terribly bad. We actually now need to schedule a clean of our solar panels as well. It's been nearly a year since they've been on the roof, and we've got a lot of seagulls around here which like to make a mess of things. But we only generated 713 kilowatt hours from our solar in November. If we compare that to June, which was our strongest month, that produced 4,300 kilowatt hours. So we were down, plus we had to charge lots of cars. We ended up importing 2,271 kilowatt hours of electricity. So that's going to hurt expensive. Although electricity prices are lower now than they were early in the year, which is good. And it looks like forecasts are that energy prices should continue to fall, which is good, both home and commercially. And you've got to remember, commercial energy is not capped like domestic. So when those prices went up early in the year, it really did make a big difference. We still managed to export just over 70 kilowatt hours. So at a time when the sun was out, I think it was a sunny Sunday, and we had the cars topped up, and we actually exported a little bit as well. Now, because energy prices are lower, the savings from solar has been reducing as such. But if we look at the year to date of 2023, and we've still got December to go, we've saved £16,000 in energy costs. Remember, the savings are less because energy now is cheaper than it was early in the year, but £16,000 so far, not finished the year yet. Remember the system, our solar system, 62 panels plus battery storage here, Tesla gateway. It effectively kind of cost me £39,000. So, you know, it's going to easily pay for itself. But again, I always emphasize this. I don't look at it needing to pay for itself. It was an investment. It added value to the property. And so therefore, it's going to pay for itself straight away, in my opinion. But nonetheless, good savings to be had there. And as a year, we've actually generated 24.5 megawatt hours of energy. And that's a lot, isn't it? So I'm still very pleased with that, and it's still very good. So yeah, full on month November, and as a result we didn't have that much chance to do as many videos as normal, so my apologies for that, but thanks for sticking with us and staying subscribed and watching what we do put out. We really appreciate that. As ever, the video production has to work around the core business, which ultimately is selling used electric vehicles. So we have to work around that a little bit. That's the main mortgage payer, so we have to be focused on that at all times. And when it gets busy, it's a small team here, and we have to just be all hands to the pump working on that. We did get recognised for our efforts. Got a highly commended award at the Used Car Awards as EV dealership. So we're still right up there amongst the best, I think, of EV dealerships. We'll try and do some more videos. There's a couple of cars we want to review out in the warehouse now, so there'll be some videos of that coming along. And we'll try and pick up our series of behind the scenes and follow some of the cars that are having some various works done on them and restoration and what we get up to selling used electric cars here. A very transparent look at what happens in the world of EV dealership. So that's it from me for now. Quick roundup. Just to say, November was super busy. Demand's really good. We had a great number of sales, so it was good from our side of things. I hope you've been well too, and there'll be some more videos going through into December, and then we're going to be rounding up the end of 2023 already. It's approaching fast, isn't it? So that then will be a full year of our solar, because remember, we got it just at the end of December 2022, so we can round up the full year solar with some more data and stats there, and of course some of the statistics on sales and everything as a whole year. And we'll try and do a bit of a year summary again, shall we? A bit of a montage edit of some of the things that have been happening here. It's been crazy busy. So that's it from me for now. I'll see you on the next video very soon. Stay subscribed. Thanks for supporting us.